Hey, ladies. So I wanted to pop on here a little bit today to share just a tidbit of vulnerability with you in that I had a meltdown the other day. And I really love to look at ruptures now in my life and reflect on how they are so different than the ruptures used to be years ago. And so I want to talk a little bit today about emotions and what we typically do with them. And there's three things we typically do with them. One of them is we stuff them. And so if you are struggling with codependency and people pleasing and avoidant attachment pieces in your life, you're going to stuff emotions deep down. And at some point in time, more than likely, the next thing that happens is we have like a panic attack. We're like, where did this come from? I have no idea. Well, that energy has to go somewhere. The second thing we typically do is we do emotions, we express them. And so I might be angry, so I express anger. I might be very overwhelmed, so I express overwhelm. So it's an outward expression of this emotion. And the third thing we do, which is the healthiest thing, is we actually talk about them. We talk about them with people who can steward them well. And sometimes that's a learning journey. And so for my husband and I, back in our old pattern, in that highly codependent pattern, I was a stuffer of emotions. I would stuff and stuff and stuff and be really nice or really away, a little bit of both, that pleasing piece and then go away when things got too bad with emotions. My husband, he was an expresser. So his anger would be edgy, he'd be annoyed, he'd be frustrated. He would express it to the world around him. Well, you can see that's one of the most common patterns. And so people who typically stuff and suppress emotions, they find people who express emotions because even though it's uncomfortable, it's familiar. It's familiar to what I learned to do in my story and growing up or whatever those pieces of your story are. And so of course, you have me, who is a little bit overwhelmed or anxious around big emotions. And then you have him, who is doing big emotions. And so we find each other and somehow it works, but it doesn't work because it perpetuates that cycle of codependency. And so we've done a lot of healing, truly just realigning ourselves with our God-given identity and really recognizing what is a wounding in my life and being able to surrender that to the Lord and Him giving me back something so much more beautiful, that transformation of the mind. And so yesterday, I had a meltdown. And this is so fun to look back at and see how it changed so much in my life. Yesterday, I was super overwhelmed. I had a lot on my plate. I had so much noise and distraction, and overwhelmed was really, really big. I could feel it all through my body. I did not listen to my body, which is not a great strategy. We have learned a lot in the Set Free Woman how important it is to be listening to your body, right? I did not do this. And so I went home and my husband was home and I was pissy. I come in, I'm edgy and I'm huffing and puffing. I got so much stuff to do and you got this and I got this. And he's like, honey, you really or seem a little edgy. And I'm like, that's not helpful. And he's like calm, right? And I'm just edgy. And he's like, what do you need from me? And I'm like, I need you to not talk to me. Oh my gosh, so bad. And he's like, okay. So he goes away. He's like, are you going to go to our study tonight? I'm like, I'm not going. I got too much stuff to do. Can you see my piles of stuff? And I'm just edgy. So he leaves and I'm like, oh, that was not great. It was so not great for me. And so I put my AirPods in to have like some calming music because now I'm like, okay, your body is telling you something. So I put them in, I regulate myself, I get back into myself, right? Like back into my body. I'm like, it's not hijacked by all these emotions. And then I'm like, ugh, I just did that to my husband. And so when he comes home, I apologize. And I'm like, babe, that was really bad. I'm so sorry. I was overwhelmed. I did emotions and was that helpful? And of course I pause, I look at what I'm feeling and I assess what I need, right? And so he's like, well, I was trying to help. I'm like, I know, but that obviously wasn't help that was helping. And I told him what I needed really was some encouragement. Like, babe, you got this. I know you have a lot on your plate. It's not going to last long, but that would be really helpful for me when I'm overwhelmed. And he's like, okay, I can do that. And so here's what I noticed. Two things. maybe 5. We'll see. Number 1, the old me would have never, ever, 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 ever thought of expressing an emotion, right? Because this isn't healthy. Like when we put emotion out to the world and everybody feels the energy, I would have never had the freedom to be able to do that, although I didn't steward the freedom well, but I did it. And because here's what would happen. Had I done that, my husband would have been like pissy and angry, and we'd have 2 angry people, and then I'd get scared and I'd back down. And so it'd be so bad that would have totally activated his shame in him. And he would have got just as angry as I was. It would have been really bad, or agitated as I was. And 2, even though I was agitated, the change in our pattern over these years was so significant that my husband didn't get dysregulated. He was able to sit, he gave me space, but it didn't take us into a whirlwind of months or weeks without talking and edginess. He was able to hold that space, right? Gave me my space, hold that space. He actually said he went away and prayed for me. And I'm like, honey, that is so helpful. And so it comes back, and he was able to still steward my heart, even though I was showing up very poorly in our marriage. And that was really, really big. Here's the nuts and bolts. The old us would have never been able to do that. The new us, although it's not helpful for me to be expressing emotions out loud, it was eye-opening that I felt comfortable enough in my own skin and in my own pattern with my husband that I could do that. And the healthier version would have been the latter version, when I was actually talking about my emotions. I was regulated, was able to calm my body, and then we had a great repair from a rupture. And I just wanted to share that with you guys today, because change is possible in your marriage. And my husband and I have been going through this for well over a decade. We've been married for 25 years, been together for 27 years, got a lot of experience trying these things. But the beautiful gift is that God creates a way for healthy marriages. It is attainable, it is for you, and we can learn how to handle these emotions and this nervous system in a healthy way, where we're not expressing it, we're not stuffing it, but we are engaging in dialogue about them. They lead to our need, and our needs are important. And when we learn how to communicate that first with ourselves, then we can learn how to communicate that with others. And so just encouraging you today, am I a stuffer? Am I an expresser? Or am I a talker of my emotions? Shame off you if you think you have the wrong response, and grace upon you, and that we are able to talk about our feelings. We are learning it. It's a process, and it's a gift of love that we get to give to ourselves and get to give to our families and our husbands and the world around us. So I hope you enjoyed that today. Thanks for listening to my vulnerable little meltdown. Okay, talk to you soon. Peace.